when Mikhail bought Angelo View Drive in 2014, though he must have been at the peak of his success as a mobile home park developer, because he wasted no time getting plans submitted to the city to build his new mansion. Now, for the next part of the story, it's going to feel like I am jumping ahead a little bit. And the reason for that is when these plans were originally submitted in 2014, surprisingly, there was no news coverage at that time saying there's going to be some crazy build in Beverly Hills. That is because the news outlets didn't start picking up the story until the city of Los Angeles rejected the plans, which we will get into this episode. Now, before we get to this video about how the neighbors were annoyed about this mansion, let us refresh our memory with our internet. Well, Xfinity is the right one. Xfinity Wi-Fi works by providing a private home network via a rented gateway while simultaneously broadcasting a separate public hotspot, Xfinity Wi-Fi, or Xfinity for other users. It enables, for eligible customers and Xfinity mobile users, automatic access to millions of hotspots nationwide, using the Xfinity app to securely connect. You see, my friends used to tell me that my office Wi-Fi is bad, but when I started using Xfinity, my friends started asking me what kind of Wi-Fi I was using, that it really worked well. And they also have Comcast that provides residential and business services, including high-speed internet, cable/fiber, digital cable TV, mobile phone service, and home security. It offers bundled packages, home Wi-Fi equipment, streaming apps, and, through its Internet Essentials program, low-cost options for eligible households. And when I also use Comcast in my house, my daughter Olivia told me that she could watch the Weather Channel easily, so use the promo code 1RYKX9, and you will save up to 9% of your money. Now let's get back to the video. So it was April of 2016 when a couple reporters came out stating that plans for one of LA's biggest mansions ever have been asked. They said that Mikhail Scott's plans that he submitted called for a house that was over 880,000 square feet. Although, like I said in the start of the episode, some opponents claimed that the home would be as big as 139,000 square feet. Based on the information alone, you can kind of imagine why neighbors were pushing back, and they were a little bit opposed to this house going up in their neighborhood. Like, you gotta remember, this is high-end neighborhood, so plopping down an 80,000 plus square feet house. So plotting a 80,000 plus square foot mansion would be a little out of place. When the owner Michael was getting all this backlash, he did write a letter to the LA city attorney in March of 2015 saying, hey, my house is only going to be 62,907 square feet above a basement. And the house above a basement detail is an important piece of information because, yeah, the base is where there is a lot of descriptions. The building plans showed that the basement would be a 3-story basement just by itself, and it would measure almost 40,000 square feet in total. At that time, there was this old city ordinance that said that basement square footage on hillside homes did not need to be included in livable square footage calculations. A way that a developer could skirt these rules, at least back in the day, is that they would build the house to only be a certain size that could kind of fit within the box, and then all the basement square footage would sort of be free square footage, because according to the city standards back then, that square footage didn't count. So Michael might have thought that he was going to be able to skirt the rules here by adding a basement and basically doubling the size of his house. But his neighbors caught on. They were not having it. In fact, they were actually kind of pissed that he was trying to do this. There was a few key issues that neighbors had with the project. For one, they felt like if you are building a house this big, you are basically building a commercial entertainment complex. You're not building a single family home, but the neighbors were also losing it over what the construction process would look like. The development here was going to require hauling out over 50,000 cubic yards of dirt from the building site, which would have stopped traffic on Benedict Canyon for 15 minutes every hour, with over 10,000 hauling trips needing to be completed, and this would carry on for at least a year. So just picture that for a second. If you're a neighbor and you live down this street and you're trying to go to work every day, or come home from work every day, or do anything else, for that matter, it would be highly likely that at least once per day for at least a year, you wouldn't be able to leave your house, or you wouldn't be able to get back to your house because the street your house is on is closed for construction. At one point, the owner Michelle tried to say, "Hey, I don't need to take all of my dirt down Benedict Canyon, and I just need access to the property below, and I'll ferry my soil down the hill to trucks down there." Well, as it turns out, the guy who owns the property below was not cool with dirt being dragged across his property during construction. In fact, he wasn't just opposed to dirt being transported across his property, he was opposed to the entire development happening up the hill from his house altogether. Another red flag with this whole situation was not just what's going to happen during the construction process, but everyone was also worried of what was going to happen when the house ultimately finished. I mean Michael Scott, neighboring neighborhood called Beverly Park, but he flat out told the Wall Street Journal in January of 2015 that the rules in Beverly Park were a little restricted and cramping his style. He said that Beverly Park mandates that parties with more than 20 guests have to have valet parking, and there has to be a staff member at the front gate during the part, which makes it hard for him to throw impromptu gatherings. So everything Michelle has done has made the neighborhood complain about the house trying to fight the permits, but we never know what happens next. But the only thing we all are thinking and really want is Michelle putting the house for sale so that we can actually see it in real life and look at the description for Xfinity promo code for Comcast and Wi-Fi, because you will never regret it. Bye, and I will see you in the next episode.